Hey, this is Ryan with Mama on Mission, and today I'm bringing you what we read in March 2020. I'm kind of changing up my format for this. We tried to do this several months ago and it didn't quite work out, but we're going to try it again. I'm collaborating with my friend Ingrid over at the Ingrid Chronicles. And so this segment for now will be called Book Recs and What's Next, where we will share what we've been reading and how we've liked it. I will also be sharing what my third grader has been reading and what we've been reading in our homeschool. And I also like to throw in a podcast every now and then and a picture book that my whole family has enjoyed, or at least all my boys have enjoyed. So, and then I will let you know what I am currently reading. And so if you've read it, you can comment down below and let me know what you thought about it. And then also maybe this will give you some ideas of books that you can read, especially now that it seems like all of us are stuck in our houses for a while. So this month I am still reading on. If you've seen my videos before on what we've been reading, I've been listening to Alexander Hamilton by Chernow, and I'm over halfway now. I still have quite a ways to go, but it's a pretty thick book. I've seen the book in person, even though I'm just listening to it. I believe it was like 30 some hours of listening, so that's why it's kind of taking me a while to get through that. And so I'll let you know my final thoughts on that once I finally get through it. My other nonfiction for this month, I finished up The Hiding Place by Corrie Boom, and this definitely got a 5 out of 5 stars. It combined, obviously, history, which I love, especially World War II history, and faith, which obviously I love to learn more about. And so just seeing Corrie's bravery and her sister's bravery and just their faithfulness to God's mission despite the craziness going on around them. And I think right now that's something very important to remember, that we are all called by God for something, and that circumstances outside of our control don't excuse us from our mission. And so that book was very encouraging. And then we also finished up with our community group at church, How to Pray. And this is by Ronnie Floyd. Most of our church read this, and I would give this a 4 out of 5 stars. I did learn a lot from it, and it was very encouraging. There were a couple theological things I was like, I don't know that I 100% agree with that, which is okay. We don't all have the exact same views. As long as we have the essentials down, then it's okay. But I did learn a lot from this, so I will give it 4 stars. It's just I didn't love everything about it. And then we are supposed to be this week in our women's Bible study on week 7 of 10 on Jen Wilkins' book, Better Together. But with all of this virus stuff going around, I don't know if we're going to meet anymore, if we're going to maybe try to do it virtually. I don't know. So I'm still doing it and I'm still enjoying it, but I definitely miss the face-to-face conversations about it. And just a reminder, if you haven't, or if you don't remember, this is just more like a study guide, and it's all on the book of Hebrews, so the actual reading is mostly the book of Hebrews, but this is a good study guide, and I like to throw this in here too. So that's it for my nonfiction. For my fiction, I am continuing in Where the Crawdads Sing by Dahlia Owens, and I am liking this book a lot so far. I am almost halfway. You can kind of see that. And the only thing I'm not loving about this is there have been a couple kind of racy parts, which I'm not a huge fan of at all. But it's not quite to the point where I feel like I have to stop reading it, but I just don't love some of it. I'll just leave it at that. But the storyline is excellent, and I'll let you know my final thoughts when I finish that up. And then I just started listening to A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, a book that I've never read. And my husband read it recently, and because he had never read it either, and told me I had to read it because I like a lot of things about the French Revolution. It just is very interesting to me, so he said I had to read it. Okay, that's it for me for the month of March. Now we will move on to my third grader. You will see some definite patterns here. He started off the month with Ranger in Time, Long Road to Freedom by Kate Messner. And this one is about escaping slavery. And he gave that one a thumbs up. Then he read Geronimo Stilton's Surf's Up, Geronimo. These are pretty easy for him, but he really enjoys them. And then this one's also very easy for him, but they're just sweet stories. Mercy Watson by Kate Dicamillo. This one is Mercy Watson Goes for a Ride. And they're really funny and, I mean, a super, super light read for a third grader. Let's see, not very many words. So it's definitely below his level, but they're still cute, fun stories. Then he read I Survived the Attack of the Grizzlies, 1967 by Lauren Tarshis. And he gave this one an almost thumbs up. He loves the I Survived books, but he said this one was a little bit boring. So I don't know if I was getting attacked by a grizzly. I don't think it'd be boring, but maybe reading about it isn't so fun. And then he read another Kate Dicamillo. This one is Francine Polay Meets the Ghost Raccoon. And he gave this one an almost thumbs up too. He didn't absolutely love it, but he thought it was kind of funny. And then he read I Survived the Eruption of Mount St. Helens, 1980 by Lauren Tarshis. And he gave this one a thumbs up. He really liked this one. And then he read, this is the book that I kind of challenged him on. It's still not very thick, but a little longer than some of the I Survived and stuff. But I wanted to challenge him over spring break, and he rose to the challenge and loved Henry Huggins by Beverly Cleary. This is kind of a classic. I don't remember if I ever read it. Like, I kind of knew the gist of it, but I don't remember actually reading it. So I don't know if I ever did or not, but we might do it for his little brother as a read aloud just so that I can read it. Or I guess I could pre-read it, but not pre-read it, post-read it. I don't know. Anyway, then he read Ranger in Time again, Danger in Ancient Rome by Kate Messner. And now he is currently reading this one. You're not going to be able to see because it has our library sticker on it that I'm going to cover up. But Ranger in Time by Kate Messner, and this one is Rescue on the Oregon Trail. So that is what he read. Oh, and I should say he gave Henry Huggins and Ranger in Time a thumbs up. And so we're going to start looking for some more Henry Huggins books once our library opens back up. And Ranger in Time on the Oregon Trail, I think he's liking so far. I'll give you the full review next month. And then Danger in Ancient Rome, he gave a thumbs up as well. So for our read aloud, I mentioned last month we had just started The Secret Garden, and now we're probably, we're over halfway. We're not quite 2/3 the way through yet. This is a classic. I love this book. And I think they're really enjoying it too. When every time we break it out to read, they never want to stop. So, I mean, that's a good sign. And they have their favorite characters and everything. So we're loving this, and I'll do a full review on it next month. And then for our picture book for the month, we have enjoyed this book, Counting Crows by Cathy Apelt. And no, this isn't the Mr. Jones Counting Crows for you 90s music lovers like me. But it's a very simple, just rhyming and counting book. Kind of silly. It was fun for my 2-year-old because he just turned 2, so we're just now working on counting. So, you know, he'd use his fingers and help us count the crows. And the rhyming scheme's kind of fun. And I don't know, it was just a cute little book. And for my podcast this month, I am going to recommend one to you that I'm actually new to myself. So I'm not an expert on it, but it is Ask Pastor John. And I've actually been subscribed to it for several months, but I'm just now kind of getting into consistently listening to them. And it is by John Piper. And they are just little snippets of questions that a lot of people have. A lot of them are tough questions, like if God is sovereign, why should I pray? You know, kind of those like tricky questions that sometimes we don't always have an answer for. And he has some really good, well thought out answers. But these little podcasts are only about 10 to 15 minutes long, roughly. And so they don't take a lot of time to listen to, but they're very interesting and help you find some answers to maybe those more complex questions that you may get. And he is very theologically sound. There's maybe a couple things that I would disagree with him on, but by and large, the man knows the word and lives by the word, and that's what matters, right? So that is all I have. So currently I will be reading Alexander Hamilton still, Where the Crawdads Sing, and A Tale of Two Cities. So if you would like to join me on reading any of those, or if you have read any of those and have comments on them, please let me know down below. And I thank you so much for watching. Please check out the playlist down below to see what Ingrid is reading also, and check out her channel while you're there. And I will talk to you next time.